Course in Miracles student now for about 15 years, and I think I'm starting to be a beginner. I don't think I was till then. This subject about illusion, I've just made an earlier video. I'm going to call this part 2 on illusion. It's a subject that comes up time and time again, and so the question is, what is the nature of illusion? And if you look at lessons 200 to something like 220, it's a review section, and each review starts with the affirmation, I'm not a body, I am free, because I'm still as God created me. So, if this is the truth, not illusion, then we're not bodies. And this is the first illusion, I think, that we have to deal with, that we're just bodies. The fact is that the cells in the body turn over, the cells wear out, and a blood cell, for example, known as an erythrocyte, lasts 128 days. After that, it's worn out. It's been bounced around the blood vessels for 128 days. It's like a ball going through a series of tubes, and it gets absolutely rattled around, and it's useless. So the body knows this, and the body's a master design. So what it does is it recycles it, and the blood cell, the erythrocyte, goes into the liver. The liver tears it in half, takes the hemoglobin out of the middle of it, which is the iron content, sends that to the bone marrow, and then gets rid of the husk through the waste disposal. Now, the bone marrow makes a brand new blood cell, and so the blood cell that was here yesterday, that has gone, has been recycled. Some of it's been discarded, some of it's been modified and put into a new blood cell, and some of that new blood cell is made up of some of the food that we've eaten, the nourishment, and that's how we rebuild cells as they wear out. So when you look in the mirror and you say to yourself, I must be a body, look, I can see there, that's my face. You know, it's the same face I had yesterday. That is what I am. It's a bit like looking at a river. You go to the river, you go to your favourite place, you stand on a bridge. You look out over the bridge, you look at the river, and you say, I live in Nottingham, so it's the River Trent. I look at the River Trent and I say, oh look, isn't it a beautiful river? And I see the herons and the mallards and the ducks and you know, the wildlife, and I think, oh, the River Trent is a beautiful place. I never see the same river twice. The fact is that the water that goes under that bridge goes past every day, and new water comes to replace it. So from my perspective, I see the illusion of the River Trent. In the same way, I see the illusion of Dave Yeomans. I look in the mirror and think, oh, hello, it's you, you're Dave. That's an illusion. The Course says, I'm not a body, I'm free, because I'm still as God created me. Now, based on that, if I'm not this body, what am I? Well, the Course goes on to explain that we are actually thoughts within the mind of God. The reason why we don't need to fear is because a thought never leaves the mind that thinks it. Now, well, the first time I read that, I had no idea how profound it was. I had no idea what the implications were. But what it means is that whatever it is that holds this body together is something that's not dependent on the body itself. So, if within the mind of God a thought occurs, and that thought, since it's part of the creative mind, God is the creator, so thoughts within the mind of God are part of the creative mind. Since that thought within the mind of God has the ability to influence physical matter, that thought has the ability to make sure my cells keep turning over in this body. In other words, while my soul, which is a thought within the mind of God, is present, within this physical flesh here, this stuff stays alive. The chemical process carries on. In other words, I keep appearing to be what I am, in the same way the river keeps turning over. It's a different water every minute, but it's the same river. In the same sense, this physical body looks the same, feels the same, and in every physical way it's solid and it maintains its appearance, its form. The truth is, it's not that. It is a turnover of food going in here, turning cells into new cells. In other words, the proteins that I eat keep the cell turnover going on. And so my physical form is maintained by a magical process that is managed by the presence of my energy. Now, about 25 years ago, I decided that I wanted to train in Chinese acupuncture, and that's what I do. As well as being a Course in Miracles student, I'm also an acupuncturist. And I started to learn about this amazing force, which the Chinese call qi. The people in yoga, I believe, call it prana. It's got different names. I think in the Bible it was referred to as ruach, which means breath. And it's said in Genesis that Jehovah took the clay from the earth and he moulded it into a physical body, and he called it Adam. And then he took his holy breath and he breathed his holy breath into Adam to give life to the body. Now, the word qi in Chinese medicine means energy, it means life force, but another word for it, another definition rather, is it means breath, it means air, it means the same as it does in the Bible. So the first level of illusion I think we have to get past is that we're just a physical body. Now, my training has helped me to see that the maintenance of physical form is due to an energy that's not dependent on that physical form. So there's a kind of an electricity that's whooshing around my system, which is called qi. If my qi gets blocked, then I get ill, because the life force that keeps the cell turnover working is blocked by that. Now, when I come to treat people using acupuncture, my job is to get the energy flowing again, and they physically say, oh, I'm starting to feel well again, I'm starting to get better. And the reason why they're starting to get better is that I've actually helped their life force to start flowing again. So when I look at a person and I read Course in Miracles and it says, I am not a body, I am free, because I'm still as God created me, I look at a person with my training and I think, no, you're not just a body. Those cells are managed by a conscious living energy that the Christians call the soul, and in Chinese medicine we call it qi, and in yoga they call it prana, and it is all part of the breath of God. So we are God's children in the sense that his breath extends into our physical bodies, and our physical bodies, I think, are very much like glove puppets that the soul wears. So the question is, the ontological question, who am I? If I accept that I'm just this physical body, nothing else, that's an illusion. And this is what the Course has come to teach us. This is what all the great teachers have come to teach us. We're not just physical bodies.